Good morning. Welcome back to the classroom. Let's put a little vacay in your day. Today's vacay Q&A comes from Kayla in Atlanta, Georgia. Kayla says, "Hi, Miss Kears." Hi, Kayla. After reading the morals, values, and ethics section, I've realized that my actions don't line up with my morals, values, and ethics. For instance, my morals tell me that I should be kind to people and tolerant of mistakes. However, I find myself easily frustrated by my coworkers, which makes me cranky and ill-tempered. This behavior goes against all three, my morals, my values, and my ethics. How can I become more kind and helpful to the people with whom I spend my days? Well, Kayla, that is a very good question, and I think a lot of us wrestle with that very thing. But the truth is, very often when we snap at our coworkers, we're frustrated. And that frustration isn't necessarily created by those coworkers. Very often when we're frustrated, the thing that triggers the frustration is not the source of that frustration. So the first thing that we need to do is analyze that reaction. What's going on in your life that's making you frustrated? Is it in fact a particular coworker, or is there something else going on? First of all, pay attention to your work environment. Are you new there? Are you feeling insecure for any reason? Because very often insecurity is a huge source of frustration. So is there anything going on in your work environment that is making you feel insecure? Maybe you're new to the job, or maybe you're short-staffed and there just aren't enough hours in the day. I don't know that particular situation, but first, look around your work environment and take stock of what's going on there. After that, think about what's going on at home. Are you stressed at home for some reason? Is that source of stress carrying over from home to work? Maybe there's a financial issue going on at home. Maybe there's an emotional issue going on at home. Maybe you have a child that's not sleeping well and causing you not to sleep well. I don't know your specific situation, but just take a look at both your environment at work and your environment at home and try to put your finger on the source of your frustration, because chances are what's frustrating you is not what's causing that frustration. After that, make it a point to prioritize kindness. And I know that it's hard to filter everything that you say. But in that situation, when you start to snap or when you start to respond, take a moment. Just think, is what I'm about to say kind? Is it necessary? And if it's necessary, but it's not kind, is there another way that you can phrase that to soften the blow a little bit? Because the truth is, kindness has to be prioritized, and the only way to do that is to filter what comes out your mouth a little bit. You cannot repeat everything that the little guy in your head says. So for the next little while, pay attention, put your filter on, and prioritize kindness. Ask yourself before you speak, is that necessary? Is it kind? If not, look for a way to rephrase that, or possibly if it's not necessary, just keep it to yourself. Sometimes that's the kindest thing we can do, is just not say anything. If it's not necessary and it's not kind, you have the right to remain silent. After that, find some tools and techniques that will help you with that decision to be kind. Because there are certain things that we can do that really do foster kindness. I don't know if you're familiar with Mel Robbins, but she's a self-help author, and she has this great tool. It's called the 5-second rule. And what that means is, between every thought and every action, there's about a 5-second window where we determine whether or not we're going to act on that thought. It's unconscious most of the time, but generally if we don't act within 5 seconds, we're not going to. And if we're going to do something, we'll do it inside that first 5 seconds. So, the next time somebody says something to you and you feel your blood pressure rise, or those prickles on the back of your neck, or whatever that indication to you is that you're starting to get frustrated, breathe and count. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. During that 5-second window, you're probably going to run your response through that filter and determine whether or not that's kind. And if it's not kind, is it necessary? And if it's necessary, is there a way to soften the blow a little bit? So that 5-second rule is just a really handy trick that when you feel your frustration rise, take 5 seconds and determine whether or not it's necessary and if it's kind. If it's not, you have the right to remain silent. Just be quiet. And of course, there are lots of other techniques that we can use to lower our frustration level during the day. You may decide to meditate in the mornings. You may decide to go for a long walk by yourself at lunch. Maybe in the evenings you spend a few minutes in the bathtub or doing something that you really enjoy. All these things lower our stress levels and therefore diffuse that frustration that we feel so often. So look for things throughout your day that you can do to give yourself a break and to lower that frustration level some. Because the more you take the stress out of things, the less you're going to be frustrated. Okay, so again, first, pay attention. Analyze that frustration that you're feeling. Is the person that you're frustrated with the source of that frustration? If not, you need to see if you can't find exactly what it is. From there, we have to prioritize kindness. So just remember, is it kind and is it necessary? If it's not, we all have the right to just remain silent. And remember to look for some tools and techniques that you can use to lower your frustration and your stress levels throughout the day. In fact, check the links below this video. You might find something there. Okay, Kayla, I hope this helped. Drop me a comment in the box below and let me know how it goes. And if you have any further questions, just leave them there and I will either follow up with a comment or another video. See you next time.